We would like to welcome this evening's officiating crew. They are Brent Kreider, Stephen Redmond, David Hampton, Charles Dempsey, and Wes Beeman. In the spirit of sportsmanship, we ask that all fans act responsibly and courteously to those around you. Abusive language or disorderly conduct is unacceptable and not welcome at IHSA and Blackford High School events. Let's support the student athletes, coaches, officials, and your fellow fans the respect they deserve. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Please enjoy the game. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the Bruin Pride Marching Band honors our guests from Madison Grant with the playing of their school song. Okay, Bruin fans, on your feet. As the Bruin Pride Marching Band plays the Blackford fight song. this time, we ask you stand and direct your attention to the southeast corner of the track as the Blackford ROTC presents the callers for the national anthem. JROTC members presenting callers tonight are Barbara Barkdahl, Chloe Smith, Nathan Bartram, Izzy Phillips, Hannah Jernigan. Now the Bruin Pride Marching Band, directed by Mr. Matt Carlisle, perform our national anthem.
Hello and welcome into tonight's game. That was the Blackford Band, Mr. Carlisle, new band director this year. It's a nice night out here at Bruin Field tonight. It's going to be about 68 degrees at kickoff. Strong wind coming in from the north. There the Bruins taking the field. Looked like there were about 34 players in uniform tonight during warm-ups. Nice increase over what they had last year, and there's I think a few more players who are injured and out for the game tonight.
Well, thanks for joining us here tonight. If you couldn't come out and make it with us, we're glad you can join us online, but it certainly is a beautiful night out. It's a couple minutes to kickoff. Still got a little time to get out here if you would like to. Blackford coming into a nice game at 1-1 after dropping the home opener against Jake County. Blackford traveled up to Fremont.
Not Frankton, Fremont.
Fremont last week and picked up their first win of the season. Madison Grant comes in at 2-0 tonight, and this will be the conference opener for both teams.
Full slate of conference action tonight, of course. Once the conference season starts, everyone has a game. So this will be Blackford's first conference of the game, first conference game of the year. Next week will be at home again. We'll be homecoming against Elwood. Another 7 o'clock kickoff. So if you're around, it'd be a great time to come out to the Bruin Sports Complex to watch a game.
Yep, all of the conference plays tonight. We'll try to get you some scores if we can, but Tonight, Elwood is hosting Alexandria. Eastbrook hosts Frankton. And Mississinawa is hosting the Oak Hill Eagles.
Again, it's a little bit breezy tonight, so we apologize for any sounds that the wind's making in the speakers or that the papers are making blowing around. Bruins are going to take the kickoff, start the game. A couple players to watch on Madison Grant. They've got number 34, Cole Stitt, who play both ways. He's a linebacker defensively, offensively. He's the leading rusher in the conference right now. He was honorable mention last year as a running back. Honorable mention all conference, all CIC. And another player, big number 76, offensive lineman for Madison Grant. He's been all conference the past 2 years. So you know when you're all conference as a sophomore, you're probably pretty talented.
Kicking off for the Argyles, 31, Harry Brooks.
So Harry Brooks is going to kick it off for the Madison Grant Argyles. Back to return in the center is Gage Dow. Looks like Gage will be able to nope. That one's picked up by Tyler Jordan and returned out to the 25. So the Bruins will take over just beyond the 25-yard line.
Tyler Jordan.
Last week, the Bruins did a nice job running the ball against Fremont, picking up about 5 to 7 yards per play. If you tuned in last week, the Bruins had a 18-0 win. First shutout the Bruins have had since 2019, I think it was. Handoff there looked like it was to Brady Bannister, maybe for a gain of 2 yards. It looks like maybe just 1. Maybe that was Carter Klaus. I think it was Brady Bannister, but they listed it as Klaus. 28-88.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Bannister. If that was Bannister, Scott, that gives Bannister 29 carries so far, just slightly over 2 games now. That equals his total number of carries all last season. So he picked up 20 carries last week at Fremont.
He did. He got a lot of action last week, and it always helps. Oh, and that one looks like that pass is just off the fingertips. That pass was intended for Bannister. Last week, the Bruins didn't throw the ball a lot. Had pretty good success going to Nick Eli. He had a big 42 maybe yard passing play to set up the Bruins' second touchdown. It's going to put the Bruins at 3rd and 9. Morgan Randall starting at quarterback for the Bruins, number 15. We're taking the snap here from Sean Cronin, number 75, the big center up front. That one up the middle. He gets loose, but not long enough. That run was to Gage Dow. Gage had some nice runs last week. It's going to bring up 4th down, though. Dow picked up about 2 yards on that carry. Grant Ridgway will be in to punt for the Bruins. Last week, Nick Eli did the punting. Looks like maybe they've decided to make a switch. He's going to be punting into a very strong wind here. That's not a bad kick there, especially considering the wind. It's a little bit of a bounce, and it's down by Carter Klaus, number 88, at about the 43-yard line.
That ball definitely got up in the air, and that wind held it up, and it came pretty much straight down.
Yeah, it looked much better off the foot than what it ended up. Like you said, the wind really held it up, and it kind of came right down, which is why I think it kind of surprised Klaus when it was bouncing right beside him. So again, the player to watch here is number 34, Cole Stitt. He gets a carry right there. Looks like it's about 8 yards right up the middle.
Argyle's number 34, Cole Stitt.
Gets it again, I believe, and maybe 2 yards. So we got about 8 on the first one. Sorry, it's about 7 on the first one. And 1 on that carry, maybe. So it looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 1. No, sorry, the board has 3rd and 1, but the flag is, it looks like it's about 3rd and 3. That's going to be a first down. No, he's got a gap there in the middle. Nice shoestring tackle there by Tyler Jordan that may have saved the touchdown. Jordan got just enough of him to bring him down. That's going to move the ball down to about, I think, the 14-yard line. This time they give it to 44. Roslyn White, junior running back, and he gets into the end zone. Again, those runs on the left side are going to be behind two-time all-conference player Dalton Sneed, big senior. When they run on the right side, they're running behind an honorable mention tackle in Boston Cottle. Madison Grant had a very good year last year. Returned a lot of players. They did graduate several talented players, but they've got a lot of guys back. Again, when you've got tackles on both sides that were all-conference and honorable mention, those guys can make some big holes. It looks like they're in there for the 2-point conversion. So the Bruins are going to have to try to get some points on the board to keep up with Madison Grant, because they're going to be a very hard team to slow down. So the score there after the successful 2-point conversion is now 8-0. There's that play to the touchdown run. Number 44 broke a couple tackles, got into the end zone. And that was Roslyn White, number 44, for that touchdown. I'm not sure if the wind is as strong on the field as it is up here on top of the press box. But if it is, that's going to really give Madison Grant a nice advantage here in this first quarter. So the Bruins are going to receive here. It'll be Gage Dow in the center, back to receive, and Tyler Jordan on the left side picked up that last kick, and then I believe it's, can't see the number real well, but I think it's Brady Bannister on the near side.
Well, certainly not what the Blackford defense was looking for with Madison Grant scoring on that first possession, but Madison Grant can run the ball really, really well, and they kind of showed it right there like you were talking about. So hopefully here on Blackford's second possession, maybe we can get a good return going and try to get something happening on the offense.
Again, Harry Brooks in the kickoff. Gage Dow gets it, and he'll look for a hole here. He's taken down about the 28, 29-yard line. I think that's going to be placed on the 29. That was a low, pretty low kick there. The wind helped push it on down the field. So the Bruins will take over on the 29. Well, actually, it's right there at the 30, I guess. And it looks like the Bruins are going to go out of the shotgun here, which is a different look for sure. There's a handoff to Brady Bannister, who's got some space. They may have decided to switch it up there, spread the defense out a little bit. And that's a gain of about 3 yards out to the 33.
Certainly would be a little challenging right now to throw into this stiff headwind, so not surprised to see the draw out of that formation, but nice to change things up.
Again, to give the defense a different look, even if you're still going to run it. Give you a few different options. There's the Bannister again. Gets positive yardage again. About another 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 4. Again, if you missed it a minute ago, Matt just mentioned that Bannister had 20 carries last week. Last year he only had 29 carries, and he's already up past 29 carries for this season after 3 games. Again, it looks like Bannister in the backfield. Dathan Wainwright in the left slot. Goes to Bannister again. No gain on that one. Maybe, it looks like they lost 1, maybe 2 yards.
We went to that same play 3 times in a row. I don't think anybody was surprised that time.
I was. I thought they'd do something different.
You thought surely the 3rd time they would actually throw it.
Yeah, they've got Carter Klaus on this side of the line. I thought maybe they'd go to him. So again, it's going to be Ridgeway into punt. Bannister's the up back. I don't think we'll fake a punt here, but in the future if we need to.
Try to keep this kick low if you can. Well, that's pretty low.
Yep. And he went down onto a knee to pick that ball up to try to catch it, and so that's going to be an automatic downing of the ball. So it's going to be a loss of yardage, and the Argyles, unfortunately, will take over at about the 21-yard line, 22 maybe. So on their last possession, Madison Grant had a 43-yard drive. Every play was a run. Most of those were to number 34, Cole Stitt. The touchdown run was number 44, Roslyn White. We'll see what the Argyles choose to do here. Number 2, Xavier Yagi hands it off to the 15 around the right side. Nice tackle there. Oh, I thought Gage Dow had him, but he kept his balance. Was able to stay alive and pick up a few more yards. That's going to be a gain of 7. So the Argyles will be looking at a 2nd and about 3. That play was to O.J. Blackwell. There's a run. Out of bounds. He's out of bounds inside the 5. It's going to move the chains again, set up a first down at the 5-yard line. That was about a 10-yard run. That one, I believe, was to number 14, Andy Stanley of the Argyles. Looks like it's probably going to be a procedure penalty against the Madison Grant squad, moving them back. So they'll put them back at about the 10-yard line, so it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 10. If the Bruins could get a stop here, it would really help change the momentum of the game.
Certainly the penalty gives them an opportunity for something positive here. Hopefully they can try to keep the Argyles out of the end zone this time.
Give them a little more space. I apologize, the wind's blowing so hard it's blowing our monitor off the table. It's a run up the middle. That's Cole Stitt again, number 34.
Stitz the main man for the Argyles. He's averaging over 100 yards a game, and he's off to a good start. Picks up the touchdown there.
It's really hard to stop them at the line. Those big guys they've got up front to run behind. Right there, if the Bruins hadn't got him at the line, they weren't going to get him. Once he busted through the line, it was nothing but open end zone. They're going to line up to go for 2 again. And they've run the ball on every play. Every play's been a positive gain for them. There it is again, into the end zone. 2 points.
2-point conversion.
So that puts the score at 16-0. 6 minutes and just over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's a very pleasant evening out here at Bruin Field. There's a strong wind out of the north that's a little frustrating for those of us on top of the press box, but it's a nice, spacious press box up here, so we've got plenty of space. So again, the Bruins will be out to receive. This time, it looks like Brady Bannister is going to be back in the center. Tyler Jordan still on the far side. This time, Gage Dow will be on the near side.
Scott, real quick, I want to show you this replay. This last touchdown by Madison Grant. Watch the right guard get the nice kick-out block here.
So he got a nice pull, got contact with Carter Klaus, kept Klaus out of the play. 58, that was 58 on that pull. Number 58, just Sorver Falk. I'm sure I mispronounced that name. I apologize to he and his family. Madison Grant certainly takes their time getting out for the kickoff. Harry Brooks will take the kick for the Argyles. Previous 2 kicks were right up the middle. I assume they'll try to put it in the same place. Last week the Bruins up at Fremont tried to keep it on the sideline against Fremont's high quality return man.
Harry Brooks gets out for the Argyles.
Well, that time it gets past Bannister, picks it up at about the 8-yard line, and gets hit at the 14.
Brady Bannister, number 28 on the return.
So Bannister did get back, picked it up, and moved it forward. And it looks like there's a Bruin shaking his hand there coming off. Maybe a little stinger there. Hopefully he's all right. I believe that's Hunter Kale, number 21. Madison Grant's pretty big defensively up the middle too. Bruins back in the T formation. That ball luckily fell to the grass there. It was bobbled by number 14 of Madison Grant, Andy Stanley. There's a lot of pressure there on Morgan Randall on that play. Little play action pass. It's a good penetration by Madison Grant. The ball luckily fell off the hands there. 14 bobbled it a couple times. Kept it alive, but then it fell to the ground. We're going to have a timeout here. Let's see, did you see who called that?
Blackford.
Oh, Blackford called that timeout. So after that play, I think Coach Sehi wanted to talk things over. Still 6 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Sorry, 6 minutes and 9 seconds here in the first quarter. Argyles lead 16-0. Hopefully when we get out of this first quarter and get the field turned around, then we'll be able to take advantage of the wind. Won't have to run into that headwind for the second quarter. I'm sure it'll make it a whole lot easier for Morgan Randall to get passes off. If you weren't with us last week, the Bruins had an 18-0 win at Fremont against the Fremont Eagles, about an hour and 40 minutes north of here. Next week, the Bruins will host Elwood for homecoming. So if you're in the area, it'll be a wonderful night to come out and watch the game. So the Bruins are looking at a 2 and 10, 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle. Looks like no yardage on that one. That, I believe, was Carter Klaus. He gets up a little gingerly. He's staying on the field.
Number 88, Carter Klaus on the carry for the Bruins.
Morgan Randall brings a play back out to the huddle. On the left side of the line, at guard, the Bruins have Daniel Ludwig and Thomas Bowling. Morgan Randall rolls out to the left side and looks for some open space. He had some space, but the defenders were just a little too quick, caught up with him, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Morgan got back to the line of scrimmage, but couldn't pick up any positive yardage on that one. The Bruins, it looks like Ridgway's going to be out to punt again. First punt looked pretty good, but into the strong wind, it dropped down, didn't get across the 50. On the second possession, the Bruins, the snap was low, maybe partially due to the wind, and Ridgway had to fall on it. It was a net negative yardage. Looks like that snap's a little better. He gets that one away. Same thing. It looked like it came off of his foot pretty well.
On the track.
Yeah, the wind wasn't blowing that way. I think maybe he was trying to kick it into the wind a little bit to keep it going straight, but it ended up going well off the field onto the track. It looks like it's only going to be about out to the 24-yard line. So I'm not sure that punt netted more than about 10 yards. Just tuning in, Madison Grant's been off to a good start. They've been running the ball. I think they've run on every play so far. The ball's been on their side of the 50, on the Bruin side, on the Bruin end the whole game. That carry around the end, number 14. I think there's going to be a hold on this play, so I think that one will come back. That was another run by number 14, Andy Stanley.
Stanley on the carry for the Argyles.
Yeah, the Argyles are walking back, so I think that's. We'll get the call here in a second. I think it was a hold. Yep, looks like a hold. It's Madison Grant, so that'll be the first negative yardage. It was second. They had a false start on the 5-yard line earlier, which only set up a 1st and 10. So this is the first time that the Argyles will have to go more than 10 yards to get to the line to gain. Looks like that'll put them back at about the 31, so it's going to bring up 1st and 16 yards, maybe a long 16. They're about the 31 and a half and have to get to about the 9 and a half, 14 and a half, sorry. And it looks like they're going to throw here. That's complete to Stitt, but there's another flag on the play. So that was about that play just got back to the line of scrimmage, but again, there's a penalty. I think that's probably going to be another hold. I'm second guessing my thought there about the hold. They'll go over and talk to Coach Seahigh. Discuss what happened on that.
That's going to be a procedure call against the Argyles. They're going to back up a little bit further.
Yep. That'll be the Bruins moving in the right direction here, or the Argyles moving in their wrong direction, I should say. That penalty was declined. So Coach Seahigh, with them already being back, instead of giving them another first, being able to replay first down again, chose to make it second down and 14.
I like that call.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision in that situation. Second and 15. Looks like they're going to throw again. Some good pressure by the Bruins. It's a nice catch. I think he stepped out there. No, maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
I thought the sideline official had indicated that he'd stepped out around the 4-yard line, but it looks like he got in. That was 21, I believe. 21's not on the roster tonight. At least not the roster that I have. Looks like Madison Grant will probably line up to go for 2 again. And I just about pulled my headset off. The wind's blowing pretty strong tonight. Had to chase the paper down. So Chad Lamb, that was number 21, Chad Lamb. So I had to go to the secondary roster to figure out that number. That was a nice reception on that play. Looks like the Bruins have a player down. Looks like they're going to help Carter off the field. Some type of leg injury maybe. I'm sure Jared Coates, Blackford's trainer, will get him all set up. Blackford would like to thank OPS for supplying the trainer, Jared Coates, for tonight's game. 31 is into... That's Harry Brooks. Does the kickoffs and the extra points. So he just took 1 point on that one. Here's the replay of that catch. So he put it up in it was really a nice throw. Put it up nice and high, and Brooks was able to come down with that catch. Good hands on the play. Sorry, not Brooks. Chad Lamb, number 21, was able to come up with it. So again, this has been a tough quarter for the Bruins. They're down 23-0 now. This wind has not aided them well. It's kept the ball on the Bruins' side of the field. They haven't been able to get any yardage to speak of off of punts. Haven't been able to throw into the wind. Madison Grant's taking advantage of it. So Brady Bannister will be back in the center again. Tyler Jordan on the far side. Gage Dow on the near side. Seems like we've been saying about the same thing the whole game so far, Matt, in this quarter. And there's still about 3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. There's another kick. This one's fielded by Jordan. He fielded the first one earlier in the game. He makes a move. Gets by one tackler with that move. Nice, nifty little move there, and gets out to about the 35-yard line.
I do think that'll be Blackford's best field position so far today.
Yeah. They've started on the 25, the 30, the 25, and now the 35. So it is their best field position. Hopefully they can get out across the 50, start working toward the end zone.
Scott, we'll give a little update on the cross-country team. Cross-country ran last Saturday at the Mount Vernon Invitational. The top performance for Blackford on the girls' side was Kaylee Faber. She finished 64th out of 118, so it was a big meet. The girls didn't have enough runners to place as a team, and the boys placed 11th.
They'll go out of the shotgun again. Randall will not be able to find his receiver and have to take a sack there. A 6-yard loss on the play. I think they actually took over here on the 36. So that 6-yard loss will put him back to the 30. The Bruins have gone out of the... I think maybe the Bruins are going to take a timeout here. They're letting the clock run down. Quarterback Morgan Randall's on the sideline. They take a timeout. So the teams will go to the sidelines here. If you join us in the third quarter today, we will be having an interview with the new boys basketball coach of the Bruins, Coach Aaron Daniels. That'll be starting in the third quarter. So if you come back right after halftime, we'll be live with Coach Aaron Daniels, the new boys basketball coach for the Blackford Bruins. So the Bruins have had possession starting on the 25, 30, 35, and now 36-yard line. It's been very tough going for the Bruins. No first downs yet. Heading into the wind. The wind's strong. It's not directly out of the north, but out of the northeast, so blowing from the goalposts toward the home sideline. The Bruins will come out here 2nd and 15. Morgan Randall again out of the shotgun. It's about the 5th play they've run out of the shotgun tonight. That's Brady Bannister. If he'd been able to get past that first tackler, there would have been some space to pick up some yardage and maybe make a move.
28,
get some more yards.
Bruins.
It's a short gain. Pickup of about 2 yards. Brady's already had 5 carries tonight. If I'm accurate, he's had at least 5. The longest gain's been 3 yards. Looks like they had to adjust the strap on his helmet there. Again, the Bruins are out of the shotgun. We've got Gage Dow, it looks like, in the slot on the near side. Again, Brady picks up some positive yardage, but just not enough, especially starting the hole they're in. That's going to bring up another 4th down. I'm sure the Bruins will be happy to get this quarter over and not have to be running, throwing, facing into the wind, kicking. So looks like Ridgeway will be in to punt again. Last week, at Fremont, Nick Eli did the punting. The Bruins have to get a player off the field. It looks like that's going to be a penalty. I think Jay Bannister went on late and then came off. I don't know if there was miscommunication there. Bruins will back up 5 yards and we'll try it again. Again, Nick Eli did the punting last week. Grant Ridgeway's been punting this week. He'll be taking the snap on about the 15. Well, that was a nice snap. That's probably the best snap the Bruins have had. But there was a penalty on the play. It looks like the Bruins are moving back another 5 yards.
False start call against the Bruins.
We're just under a minute to play here in the first quarter. The wind has been a major factor.
Well, honestly, the line play has been a major factor. Madison Grant just dominating Blackford at the line of scrimmage. So the running game for Madison Grant's been very, very effective, while Blackford been unable to get really anything going. And into the wind, as you see, even the punts come straight down. So field position's been a struggle, and certainly it's nearly impossible to try to pass into the stiff headwind that Blackford's been facing through this first quarter.
And Madison Grant's going to take over now at the 41, which is the second worst position that they've had, which is second best for the Bruins. So they start one possession out at the 43. This one will be at the 41. The last two possessions were at the 22 and 25 yard line. So they haven't had a long way to go.
I was hopeful there briefly when Blackford started to punt that maybe we'd get it across midfield, but a couple of penalties there prevented that from happening.
Yeah, 10 yards and penalties. They would be just across the midfield. Looks like they're going to throw again. They've got a man wide open down the middle. No one's around him. Luckily, that one was overthrown because there were no Bruins in the area.
Madison Grant trying to take advantage of that wind before we switch ends here. Went for the deep bomb. Had it, but probably the wind affected that throw too. Probably made it a little bit longer than the quarterback intended.
Yeah, I think without the wind, that probably would have been right on the money, but it just drifted out beyond Stanley's reach there. That's the first time I think the wind has helped out the Bruins today. The Argyles go to the air again. Nick Eli in the backfield applying some pressure. There's an interception. Gage Dow picks it off, comes right through. And maybe that'll get some momentum for the Bruins right here before the end of the first quarter. There's probably going to be one more play, and then we'll get to turn the field around and have the wind at our back. So Gage Dow did a nice job. He anticipated that, snuck right in between. That's the third interception for the Bruins on the year, the fifth turnover that the Bruins have collected. Last week, the Bruins picked up a fumble, collected an onside kick, and had two interceptions. Tyler Jordan had two interceptions last week, and that one was Gage Dow, number 20 for the Bruins. I think the Bruins in this situation are probably going to be happy to run one play, hopefully pick up some positive yardage, and let the rest of that time run off the clock in the first quarter and be able to get the wind at their backs. And there it is. Maybe a yard picked up. 15 seconds on the clock. That time's going to keep running down. Unfortunately, there was an injury timeout. Looks like trainer sprints onto the field. Hopefully no one seriously injured. Clock will stop with 9.5 seconds. Now give the players a chance to get a water break. And Matt, you want to give us some more updates on? You said the cross country team finished 10th last week. The boys finished 10th, but the girls didn't have enough girls for a team score. Is that correct?
That's right. Volleyball had a tough week. The volleyball team is 2-9, 0-2 in the conference. They did drop two matches this week against Alexandria and against Adams Central. Scott, you probably knew this, but did you know that Coach Seahigh, Blackford's head coach, was the coach at Madison Grant from 2005 to 2007?
Yeah, I wasn't sure which years it was. So Coach Seahigh, was at Madison Grant for a while there. Had a couple pretty good teams.
He went 8-3, 7-6, and 6-4. So not the best trend, but he did pick up a sectional championship in 2006.
Yep. And then I think he went from there to Marion. Don't know if he had a stop in between. This is a situation where Coach Seahigh is coaching against his former team. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So after the injury timeout there, they restarted the clock. That last 9.5 seconds ran off. Now we'll switch into the field. The Bruins will have the wind at their back, and it'll be second and 8 after the 2-yard pickup. Brady Bannister picked up those 2 yards. That was about a 7th carry of the game. He's only averaging about 2 yards a carry today. Last week, Brady had 20 carries. The Bruins were able to move the ball really well against Fremont. Hopefully, with the win, things will turn around a little bit. But it's still going to be hard to move the ball and to stop the ball against the size and athleticism of Madison Grant. The Bruins aren't small up front. Sean Cronin, the Bruins center. Sean weighs in well over 300 pounds. Tackles Thomas Bowling, about 300 pounds, and Thomas is on the left side. He's 3 pounds. And then our 300 pounds and our guard on the left side, Nick Ludwig. He's our smallest lineman. I think I said Nick. Daniel there. On the right side, Jay Bannister and Colton Fisher. Jay Bannister pulled on that play. Pass was intended for Dathan Wainwright, number 14.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down.
The Bruins are going to have a 3rd and 8. I think this would be a great time to look for Nick Eli, tight end number 22.
Well, you saw the first play with Blackford with the wind to their back, went to the air to try to make something happen. I think they'll probably do it again here.
They are going to go out of the shotgun again. Got Tyler Jordan in motion. Not sure what the flag was there. Looks like it was a timeout by Madison Grant right before the snap. Apparently the coaches for Madison Grant were not happy with what they saw. They wanted to talk it over.
Well, what's going to happen now, Scott, is the sun is going down behind the trees, and the wind will now probably start to settle down right when we could use it to our advantage.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have the windiest part of the game when it was right in our faces. Third and 8 for the Bruins. Sean Cronin in the middle, Jay Bannister and Colton Fisher on the right side. Daniel Ludwig and Thomas Bowling on the left side. Those are your linemen. There's a handoff to Gage Dow. He breaks the tackle, tries to stay up. Madison Grant, number 54. Tayshawn Bachman was able to hold on to him long enough to allow 3 other Argyles to get there and help clean it up. They'll bring out the punt team again. Grant Ridgeway will be in to punt. This time, not having to punt into that strong wind. So hopefully this one will net a little better yardage. It's a low snap, but he handles it well. Gets the kickoff, much better kick.
Oh my goodness.
Back to about the 22. Oh, I think there may have been a push in the back there. I think that play is going to come back. So that's a big run. If it holds up, he might get
more flags.
Yeah, I think he's going to get into the end zone, but I'm pretty sure that one's going to come back. There was, I think, a block in the back right out in the middle of the field by the Argyles.
I think maybe 2.
And then I think, yeah, there was another one. There's a player down for the Bruins on the far side of the field. I think Dathan Wainwright's down. I think that may have also been a low block. Block in the back. So where the player's down, there are a couple flags in that area, but then there's also a flag down at the 45, which I think was the initial block in the back. So I think that play is going to come way back. It'll be the first time that the Argyles will have to take over in their own, on their own end. That was a hold, 2 holds, 2 holding penalties on the Argyles. Furthest flag was back at the 45. They received the kick around the 20, I think maybe at about the 22. One official's back at the 23-yard line. Injured player looks like he's going to get up and walk off the field.
Yeah, to kind of stress the wind factor, that was about a 40-yard punt almost by Ridgway there, as opposed to when he was going into the wind, they were getting about 10-yard punts.
Yeah, much bigger difference. You said that netted 40?
Did not net. No,
Sorry,
the kick was just under 40. I mean, the return was
a 30-yard difference between into the wind and with the wind. So it looks like they're going to place the ball in the 35. That's where they'll start the play clock. So Madison Grant's going to start off at their own 35. First time they'll have to play from their own side of the field, and the first time they'll have to go into the wind. I would assume they're going to go back to the run game here, and they do. That one's number 14. Broke a couple tackles. But he ends up getting taken down by Caleb Klaus, not Carter Klaus. Caleb's number 45. His twin brother Carter is number 88. Madison Grant runs up to the line again. They were ready to take the snap there before the chain crew was set. I'm not sure why the official blew the ball dead. He's coming over to talk to Coach Seahigh about something. I wonder if maybe he's warned a player for something and now he's talking to the coach. Not sure what that was about. It's now Madison Grant, first down and 10. 47-yard line. Another run up the middle. This one's Stitt. He breaks through the line. And he's got some speed. He's got some strength. So once he gets through that line, it's just really tough to catch up to him.
We're not keeping rushing stats, but I'm pretty sure Stitt's at least now over 100 yards again for the 3rd time this season.
Yeah, Stitt picked up 40. Where'd they take over there? Was that the 47?
Yeah, that was about maybe the 46. Yeah.
So that rush alone was about 46. First couple plays.
There is another flag down here, though.
I think this one may be from the end. Oh, so there was. illegal block in the back, which must have occurred around the 18. That's going to put him back on the 28. So first down on 28 for Madison Grant. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Stitt again. Though Stanley's had several carries, number 14. That one goes to Stanley. There was a nice block on Tyler Jordan there that kept him occupied, and he couldn't get off the block and get out to the runner.
Madison Grant touchdown.
So that's another Madison Grant touchdown. Be interesting to see if they decide to kick into the wind here, if they go for 2 again. They went for 2 on the first 3 possessions, but then the last one they kicked. Looks like they're going to kick here. Number 31, Harry Brooks, is back to kick. Xander Gillespie's the holder, number 82. Kick is blocked. Blocked by Morgan Randall. Morgan did a nice job coming from the right side. Right side of the line, came in, went right after the ball. I think got both hands on it. Batted it right down into the ground. So on the replay here, if you watch on the far side, Morgan Randall gets right around the end, gets both hands on it, and saves the Bruins a point. So it's 29-0 now, early in the second quarter. This time it looks like Ridgway is going to be in on the return. So Bannister's out. And it looks like Gage Dow will be the middle man back with Morgan Randall on the near side. And Grant Ridgway on the far side. I think the Bruins may have a couple injured running backs at this point. Might be dinged up a little bit. I've had a couple guys who had to walk off the field. Nothing looked like a serious injury. Looked like mostly injuries to the leg. This kick into the wind does not go nearly as far as the kicks earlier. This one's picked up by Morgan Randall. It comes to the near side. Gets out to the 32-yard line.
Number 15, Morgan Randall. Number 15, Morgan Randall.
Again, in the second half today, start the third quarter, we're going to have a special guest up here. Coach Aaron Daniels, the new head coach of the Blackford Bruins boys basketball team, will be joining us. Let's talk a little Blackford basketball. Make sure you're back early in the third quarter if you step away at halftime. Not going to want to miss that. The Bruins take over at the 32-yard line.
Timeout, Blackford. Timeout, Blackford.
There's a timeout by Bruins. You know, in a situation like this, the game's not going real well. You really want to start off this drive with some positive yardage, get a couple plays together, get a first down, start moving the ball down the field. This will be one of those times where you don't want to have any miscommunication. Definitely don't want to have a penalty. Bruins have had a couple penalties, 2 as we were lining up to punt in the first quarter, back-to-back procedure penalties, moving back 10 yards. Now Gage Dow is the middle back, Tyler Jordan on the far side. not sure who's on the near side. That might be number 3, Kamari Taylor. That ball went to Gage Dow for no gain. So we've got a couple different running backs in here now. So Gage Dow's the center back. Missed on that possession. Looked like Tyler Jordan was on the far side. He's a senior. Gage is a junior. And then we've got Kamari Taylor, who's only a freshman. Very athletic young freshman. It's the same alignment now. Still have Morgan Randall under center. That one goes to Dow again, picks up some positive yards, breaks a couple tackles, and gets one of the better runs of the day for the Bruins. It looks like about a 6-yard gain.
Number 20 Gage Dow on the carry. Number 20 Gage Dow on the carry for the Bruins.
He picked up 7 there. So I'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Let's see if we can't pick up a first down here.
And they do have the wind at their back, so wouldn't be too surprised if the Bruins tried to throw here, although they're not in the shotgun. Now one goes to Dow again, where he's met by several Argyles. That's going to bring up 4th down. Now, if you were thinking about maybe faking at some point, faking a punt, this might be about your best opportunity to do it. 4th and a manageable distance. You've punted several times, although you've also got the wind at your back, so you might want to take a long punt while you can. Nick Eli sprints onto the field. I don't think that's where he normally is on the punt team, but I think we've got a couple guys injured. Another low snap. Ridgeway does a really nice job there picking that one up. Gets the kickoff. There's a nice tackle by Eli Long, number 24. If you weren't with us last week, Eli Long transferred into Blackford last year. He's been a nice addition to the Bruins team. He plays linebacker, number 24.
Number 24, Eli Long. Number 24, Eli Long on the tackle for the Bruins.
Madison Grant will have first down at the 48-yard line. Looks like Madison Grant's a little confused there. They're going to have to take a timeout.
Timeout, Madison Grant. Timeout.
I don't know if they had an extra man on the field. Weren't sure what alignment they were supposed to be in. Maybe that was a new play and they weren't real sure what was going on. But they had to call a timeout there. We'll talk it over. If you missed it earlier, the band has a new band director. Mr. Berlin has moved to Bluffton. Mr. Carlisle takes over the band. Mr. Carlisle was a student teacher at Blackford. Mr. Berlin. Consistency within the band program. Madison Grant comes back onto the field. Bruins have a little shift there. There's a couple missed tackles, and it looks like Cole Stitt will find his way to the end zone yet again.
34, Madison touchdown.
Cole Stitt's now well over 100 yards. Again, so he's averaging 100 yards per game so far.
Actually, he was
For the
averaging
Argyles.
133 after the first 2 games, and I don't think his average is going to drop any tonight.
No, I think he's probably close to that, if not beyond that already tonight. I don't think there will be many teams on their schedule that are going to keep him under 100 yards. Especially with the excellent line they have. That kick's going to be a little short, I believe. I don't think anyone got contact on that one, but again, that might be that wind. So in the kicking game, you can really tell the difference in the teams heading into the wind and with the wind. So 7 minutes to go in the first half, 7 minutes before halftime. The Argyles have a big lead. And the Bruins again are going to try to get it going. The Bruins seem to be a little short-handed with a couple guys out. Don't have any injury reports, but there's some guys who are normally back there to return these kicks, and then offensively, the running back position who have not been out there the last few possessions. Guys up in the front line here for the Bruins. Drake Loesch, Jay Bannister, Eli Long, Daniel Ludwig across the front line. That one's going to be picked up, bobbled and picked up by Nick Eli. Picks up a few yards there before you take him down. So that'll be decent field position. Again, the wind not helping out the Argyles on that kickoff. So the Bruins will take over at the 35.
There's a pretty good crowd out here tonight for the opening, well, actually the second home game for Blackford. Most of them seemed wise enough to bring a sweatshirt because it is downright chilly.
Yeah, it's a little chillier than I was told it was going to be. I did pack my sweatshirt.
I don't think you accounted for the wind chill. Keith over here has his parka on, our cameraman.
Cameraman Keith has it. He's got it all figured out. That's going to be a big run for Brady Bannister. Nope, sorry, I take that back. That is a nice run for Gage Dow. 8 or 9 yards on the carry. It's like 8. Biggest run, best offensive run of the day for the Bruins. Gage had a 7-yard run a couple of possessions ago, and that's going to be an 8-yard run, bringing up, I think, the first time the Bruins have had a 2nd and short today. That was to Dow again. He lost 1 or 2 yards, looks like 1. The Bruins have mixed it up a little bit. They've gone with the wing T, the T, and then they've also gone a little bit of shotgun. They haven't mixed much. It's been one or the other each series.
Last night's game with Fremont, very few possessions in the first half. The first half flew by. Tonight we're slightly past an hour, and we've still got 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, last week both teams had basically 2 possessions in the first half. And this time it's been 6. This might be the 6th. Oh, there's a fumble, but he falls on it. So no loss on that play.
Blackford had that good first down run. Thought maybe we had a chance to pick up our first down of the game, but struggles here in the ensuing plays.
Stuffed on one play, and then I don't know if that was a bobbled snap or a bobbled handoff. That ball made its way to the ground. Morgan Randall did a nice job dropping onto it. Grant Ridgeway will be in to punt yet again. Got a player running on at the last minute. Hopefully that's the right amount of players. Again, with a couple of players injured early in the game here. There's another low snap. And that kick's going to be pretty short. So overall, Grant's done a pretty nice job handling some tough snaps. A couple of them have been in the ground.
He really has.
High. He's gotten most of the kicks. One was low in the first half, and he went down to the ground for it, which ended up downing the ball because he went down to a knee as he was trying to pick it up. But since then, he's done a nice job maintaining his feet, picking the ball up, and then getting the kicks off. Up front for the Bruins, Jay Bannister, Nick Eli. It's 56 and 22 respectively. I believe Tyler Jordan brought down the runner on that one. That's going to be a short gain,
For the Argyles.
just 1 or 2 yards. Another run, Andy Stanley, number 14. That's going to be a first down. Also up front, Gavin Orlando. Gavin Orlando had some health issues a couple years ago. It's great to see him back out on the field.
Stanley. Madison Grant, first down.
Gavin's number 81. Right tackle. Nick Eli alongside him over on the right side. Eli Long and Daniel Ludwig at linebacker. That ball around the right end, he's got a lot of space. That was a nice block out on the end. Gage Dow did a nice job getting over to take down the runner. The runner on that was Camden Williams, again tackled by Gage Dow.
Madison Grant. Argyle, first down.
Clock's running. We're under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Madison Grant takes over at the 29-yard line. Going around the left end. Nice cut.
Oh, we do have a flag. That's going to come back.
Might be a
Pretty
hold.
sure that's coming back.
I thought it might have been a hold out on the end, but it looked like the player had pretty good position. He might have had a hold of the jersey. So that hold, it's going to be around the 20-yard line. I think they'll take that back. It might have been at the 19. Flag sitting on the 20. It looks like they took it right back out to the 30. Gage Dow, we mentioned last week, did not play last year. He's playing safety for the Bruins. Back there with him is, that's a nice run there. There's Klaus, number 45, came over from the opposite side. That's Caleb Klaus, not Carter Klaus. Carter's 88, Caleb's 45. Caleb, I think, made one of the initial hits on him. I don't think he took the runner down. That was a nice hard run there. They'll bring up first down on the 13-yard line. Going to be another, well, not quite a first down. It's going to be a yard short of a first down. We run there by Rosin White. Rosin's a 200-pound junior, 6'1". There's number 44. It'll be second down on the 5-yard line. The Argyles can pick up a first down at about the 2-yard line. Bruins have a minute here to try to keep them out of the end zone. And it looks like they're going to get in around the right. They sent a man in motion there, and if our linebackers started to blitz, and I wasn't sure if there was going to end up being a penalty on that. Thought maybe that would lead to someone else jumping, but no flag, no infraction, 6 points for the Argyles. Again, the Argyles will line up to kick. Harry Brooks in. I don't think they've been successful on an extra point yet today. One was blocked, one was short. That one looks like it's going to be good, though. That one's right between the uprights.
Point after is good.
So tonight is, Matt mentioned it earlier, lots of fans in stands. It is youth football night. So at halftime, there will be a lot of future Bruin football players out on the field. They're lining up in the end zone currently. Always exciting to see the future of Blackford football down there. Looks like a lot of players down there with their coaches. It's always a fun time for the players too, to be able to come out onto the field under the lights. And a couple of players who normally would be in on the kickoff return are noticeably absent. Carter Klaus isn't out there. I don't think we've seen Brady Bannister in several possessions. Dathan Wainwright, 3 guys who get a lot of touches offensively, which really throws a monkey wrench into the plans of Coach Seahigh, I'm sure. So Gage Dow will be back to return. Nick Eli and Grant Ridgway back there. This one, Bruin falls on it at the 31. That was number 21, Hunter Kale. Hunter Kale getting some action, downing the ball. It's 59 seconds left. Under a minute to go. Under a minute to go. And the Bruins will take over at the 31-yard line.
Scott, you need to make sure you hold still, because you got to block the wind for me, and if you move, then I get much colder.
Well, I'm just trying to move to stay warm. There's a run. That was a hard hit, a really hard hit. Well, I guess Cole Stitt. He gets a lot of yards offensively, and he makes a lot of hits defensively. Bruins again have a player down. trainer is going to be out there to help him. Hopefully, again, nothing serious. And with under a minute to go, the clock will be stopped. So shortly after halftime begins, the youth football players will be announced. They'll be running out onto the field under the lights. Then the third quarter, when we start the third quarter, we're going to have Coach Aaron Daniels of the, here's his picture on the screen. So Coach Aaron Daniels, and that smile right there, that's not just a picture. It's not just a smile for a picture. He has that look on his face about 80% of the time. I think he may be a guy who smiles in his sleep. Aaron Daniels is a very positive guy. He's going to be a great guy having to take over the program. So looks like the injured player, Tyler Jordan, he popped right up, started jogging off the field, so hopefully he's doing just fine. The teams will head back out onto the field. Hopefully we'll see Tyler back out there here in a little bit. So under a minute to go. Clock's running. Bruins may be content to let the rest of the time on the half run down. Get into halftime. Come out with a fresh start in the second half. Yep, they'll take a knee right there. So unless Madison Grant for some reason calls a timeout, that's going to end the half. Bruins will head into the locker room. Not the way they wanted the first half to go. And Madison Grant has a really strong line, quality, athletic, strong running backs. Really tough to stop, and then with the way the wind was blowing the first quarter, it just made all the things go Madison Grant's way.
Tonight is youth football night. We're going to take this opportunity to recognize the Blackford Youth Football League. Sponsors for the youth football are 3M Club, ADM Custom Creations.
Some players from the Blackford Youth Football League. You can probably hear that over the PA. They're going to be coming out. The band plays.
Dynamic Lawn Solutions, Ian Miller, Edward Jones Investments, Evans Enterprises, Warehouse Car Wash, First Financial Bank, Geoforce,
City Police Department, IT Guttering, Meineke, New Indy, O'Reilly, Sith Insurance, State Farm Travis Smock, Tri-County Overhead Door and Glass, and Via Credit Union. These are the sponsors of our youth football. We're going to start by recognizing the sixth graders and coaches. Coaches are Coach Jimmy Heflin, Coach Jim Fox, Coach Brian Snyder, Brenton Montgomery, Lex Lytle, James Schroeder, Logan Heflin, Levi Bartram, Jace Fox, Ethan Osborne, Mason Hornbaker, Noah Overmeyer, Daniel Cherokee, Alex Maddox, Mason Bell, Bentley Richardson, Jalen Townsend, Zachary Thomas, Brody Tinlin, Khalid Johnson, Jackson Williams, and Isaac Gibson. Those are our sixth grade players. Fifth grade, Coach Tyler Hunt, Coach Danny Johnson, Coach Caleb Mealy. Players Riley Alexander, Trip Manor, Jace Ball, Winston Brown, Kellen Delport, Levi Fields, Colson Gadberry, Carter Hunt, Adam Jackson, Chris Johnson, Dave Orlando, Aylin Richardson, Lane Ross, Blake Smith, Bridger Smith, Grayson Storr, Henry Walda, Ethan Werner. Fourth grade, Coach Jeremy Trent, Coach Neil Gibson, players Henry Phillips, Luciana Hernandez, Grayson Huffman, Ella Hornbaker, Jackson Prulis, Riker Hicks, Noel Stevens, Riker Trissel, Bradley Overlaw, Noah Wyatt, Isaiah Jackson, Xander Hummer, Owen Kraus, Henry Trent, Logan Gibson, Chase Newport, Carter Wimmer, Toy Roberts, Traxon Eli. Those are fourth grade. K1 flag. Coach Cody Quillen, players Camden Quillen, Bo Yaden, Eli Crawl, John Batten, Jackson Batten, Coach Bill Bacon, Coach John Bowling, players Kane Bowling, Bryce Bacon, Maverick Maddox, Colton Penrod, Carter Mansfield, Ivan Richard, Noah Barnes, Coach Troy Kaufman, Kane Peel, Corbin Ward, Samuel Stinnett, Isaac Wyatt, Isaiah Wyatt, Zanny Ruel, and Johnny Barrett. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big hand to our Youth Football League. Got 2 and 3 flag. Coach Mike Klein, Jude Klein, Gavin Huffman, Katie Williams, Brandon Thurman, Kevin Boyd, Adam Wilson, Clayton Forrest, Brody Gillian, Coach Luke Wilson, Coach Keith Barham, Bryce Wilson, Isaac Bartram, Devin Trotter, Deacon Conley, Kendall Robles, Mac Wright, Hayden Juster, Jason Fraley, Coach Shane Calgill, Rick Calgill, Brinley Burns, Urban Martinez, Anastasia Boyd, Jackson West, Caden Hart, Carter Williams, Maverick Bacon, Johnny Heath, and Coach Luke Yaden, Mac Yaden, Isaac Kirkwood, Landon Snyder, Leighton Hendricks, Dan Cavanaugh, and Trackton Beatty. Now, let's have a big hand for youth football.
It's cold, push in. It's cold, push in.
Yeah, she gets some. It's not but no, she gets some sort of food. So that was my daughter. Got a son, same age as her,
And to get your attention, our Blackford Bruins cheerleaders are tossing mini footballs, donated by our championship level sponsor, Tina Coons Home.
About half a minute away from starting the second half here. Hopefully you're still with us. Hopefully things will go better in the second half for the Bruins than in the first half. If you weren't with us in the first half, number 34 for the Argyles, Cole Stitt, had a big night. There's a nice view of the moon. It's a beautiful night out here. Visually, it's a little chilly, but visually it's just a beautiful night. Nice fall evening here, pretty sunset. Score, however, does not look quite so good for the Bruins. There were a few injuries in the first half, a few guys who were starters who did not play much at all in the second quarter, toward the end of the first quarter and into the second quarter. As we promised, we're going to be joined here in just a few minutes by Coach Aaron Daniels of the Bruins. So we'll have to get him set up with a headset. Coach Daniels, can you hear me?
Yes, got it. Perfect.
So, if you're just joining us, if you didn't hear me mention it earlier, we've got a special guest here as we start the second half. Coach Aaron Daniels, the boys basketball coach for the Blackford Bruins. He'll be taking over in his first year as a head coach with the Bruins this year. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. A little bit colder than expected, but doing well.
Yeah, we've
doing really well.
Unfortunately, now that you're up here on the press box, it's even chillier up here. You were away from the wind down there. You've got a special role on football nights. What do you do to help out the athletic department?
Yeah, so I went to the athletic director and just said, hey, if you need me, use me. And the officials actually dress up at the school, so I bring the officials out and get them ready to go, and then take them back after the game. So pretty easy. They don't trust me with too much, important, but they trust me with that at least.
Talking to the officials before the game, that can be a pretty important role. I guess it's one of those things where you can't really do too much positive, but you could really mess things up if you upset them.
Well, you say that, but tonight I promised them Chick-fil-A after the game. So
I
did a little buttering up, before the game even started with that. So hopefully tried to buy a couple calls.
Now, did you make sure that you snatched some Chick-fil-A sandwiches to keep them set aside?
So that was the problem. I said, I'm pretty sure they set them aside for you. And they said, hey, wait a minute. Now it's been promised. Now this could be an issue. So, no, we got it all squared away. We're ready to roll.
That's good. That's good. I tell you what, officials get a bad rap, but getting to know some of them, they're generally speaking very, very nice guys who really come out here on a weekly basis, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, baseball, and they spend a lot of time around high school kids, and in general they're good role models, and they donate a lot of time not donate. They get paid, but they don't get paid that much, really. They've got to love what they're doing.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, 99% of the time when you come out here, somebody's upset. You know, whether it's the home team, away team, somebody's frustrated with the call because it always goes one way or the other, which, you know, they're trying to do their best and everything. And you're right. They have a passion not only for kids, you know, and for the sport, but, you know, for the hobby and for the profession that refereeing is. And most of them do a really, really nice job and take pride in it. And, you know, you're right, you said it, they're good people that, you know, really are just trying to do their best out there.
And there's Grant Ridgeway takes the kickoff to start the second half, and that one went right with the wind. The first half didn't have the wind at our backs for that first quarter, and things didn't go well. So we will have it here in the third quarter. The wind's still blowing pretty heavy. We thought maybe it would die down a little bit as the sun went down, but it's still blowing pretty well. So Madison Grant will start at the 35-yard line, 34 maybe. They haven't had the ball placed yet. So Coach Daniels, you're taking over for the Bruins, so you spent some time with the kids. Looks like the 35-yard line. Some time with the kids this summer. How'd that go?
Yeah, we started in June, and I was able to be on board, and we were able to practice, 3-4 days a week with what our limited contact allowed us. And we played in 3 or 4 shootouts and really had a really successful summer. We had a little bit of a taste of success for a little bit and went on a little run and played really well. And then, you know, we also went into some games and took it on the chin a couple of times, which was good for learning and different things. But all in all, we had a really good summer, had great participation, had everybody that we thought we would have out, and then a few more kids came out and helped us. And so we were able to play some JV games as well this summer. So I was really pleased, and I know, you know, the coaching staff and the players, they were all pleased with how this summer went. We're really excited to get started again.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but 85, Carson Hillman had a nice hit, nice tackle right there. Negative yardage for the Argyles. They lost a yard. They'll have it 2nd and 11 here. It's good to hear that you had a good summer. I'm sure the guys are excited going into the season. That's number 23. And that looks like it might be a big run. Caleb Klaus got out there on that tackle. There's several flags down. I don't know if maybe he drove him into the ground there out of bounds.
The ball for the Argyles. There's multiple flags on the flag.
There were a few flags down. I think all the officials saw the same thing on that one. You played a little football in your day, Coach Daniels, right?
I did, yeah. A 4-year varsity letter winner at Jay County, across the county line there. And then I went on to Franklin College and played 3 years at Franklin College. And then my senior year, had a little bit of an injury and went into the coaching staff kind of. We did films and different things. And then when I got done, I went back to Jay County and actually coached some football at Jay County for a while.
So I think that was a personal foul against the Bruins. So what position did you play at Jay County?
At Jay County,
high school, yeah.
Yeah, I played defensive back in high school, and then the same thing in college. So played a little corner on the outside. I was a few pounds lighter then, a little bit quicker.
Say, since I've known you, you've been athletic maybe, but not what I would envision as a real speedster.
Well, yeah. A lot of times you tell people, hey, I played a little college football. O-line, D-line. Well, defensive back at one point in time. I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, we had a good time with it.
So the Argyles will have first down here. They're going to move on down. They didn't like what the placement was there. I think maybe they were a little short on what they counted off. The sticks haven't moved though. They're going to have to figure out where the change should be. Now they're going to bring it back. So they had it right initially. It'll be first down and 29. Looks I'm not sure what they're talking about out there. It looked a little bit like they were doing some rock, paper, scissors. I can't imagine why they
yeah, there you go.
In that situation. Oh, there's a fumble. That's recovered by the Bruins. Morgan Randall fell on that.
Recovered by number 15, Morgan
That's
Randall.
the second turnover collected by the Bruins today. We had an interception in the first half by Gage Dow, and then Morgan Randall was Johnny on the spot on that one, fell on that fumble. The runner was still upright. A Bruin got a hold of his shoulder pad, I think, and made him lose control of the ball. Morgan Randall was right there. So the Bruins take over on the 21-yard line. So Coach, what do you think about the facilities here? I know they've done some work in the weight room and up in the Sutton Center up there in the last 5 or so years.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the facilities you're working with?
I'll tell you, we have really nice facilities. I mean, when you're going to talk about a basketball program, in general, you want to have a really good weight room. We have a brand new weight room, not very old, fantastic. We've got basketball courts, we've got the Sutton Center, and then the main gym, always been one of my favorite facilities around the area. And that's just basketball-wise. And everybody gets to use the weight room, and it's really good. But we've got top-notch facilities here, for a 2A school. I mean, it's really comparable to some of the bigger 3A schools, and really, really nice.
I think that was a 3-yard, sorry, interrupting you again. I think it was about a 3-yard pickup by Gage Dow there. I think I saw one of your basketball players in there, Kamari Taylor. You've got a couple of basketball players out there, but number 3, Kamari Taylor, he got a one possession at least in the first half. He hasn't had a lot of action yet this year.
Yeah,
but that's him on the left, the near side.
A big football kid. I
think that's him with the carry there. He's around the right end. That's a first down. That's the first Bruin first down of the day. Nice run by Kamari.
Yeah, he's a hard-nosed kid, and he played a lot of JV basketball for us this summer. And a couple times we had to remind him, hey, this is basketball. Save the physicality for the football field. But really, really nice player.
That was a nice run by Kamari. Again, that was a first down. Bruins have been able to move the chains here, pick up some positive yardage. They're out to the 37-yard line. And Kamari's on the near side. Gage Dow in the middle. With that T formation. It looks like a pass here. That was number 21, Hunter Kale, in at quarterback. Hunter Kale looking to pass the ball, but it's going to be a 5-yard loss. So Coach Daniels, we picked up that, fell on that fumble a minute ago. I've heard that you are a top-notch fumble recoverer. If there was ever a loose ball on the field or on the basketball court, Coach Teagle always said that you were a guy who would come up with that ball.
Well, I'll tell you where that comes from. And that comes from not being a very good player. when you're not a very good player, you have to find ways to get it done. And so that's kind of my mentality at all things is working hard and getting dirty with what you're doing and playing all the way through. And so you're right. I mean, that's kind of how I try to coach too. We try to be mentally tough and as scrappy as I'll get out and really try to play through everything. So yeah, you're right. That was to compensate for a lack of talent.
Now, when you say that you're right, I didn't say that was a lack of talent.
Yeah, that's right.
That came from you. That came from you.
Yeah.
I had heard that was due to your martial arts background.
Yeah. No, I took a little judo growing up. Family runs a judo place over in Portland, so you're right. I'm sure that's probably where some of it comes from.
So I mentioned, well, the Bruins here, 3rd and long. It's another run. That might have been Kamari again. Just get back to the line of scrimmage. The Bruins are going to have to bring out the punt team. So we mentioned Coach Teagle there. He's the one who had mentioned that to me. And so you've coached with some really quality coaches. So you've got a nice coaching background as far as guys you've worked with. You can draw, some knowledge from them. So who are some of the coaches you've been around?
I've been really, really fortunate in that regards, as well as my learning. I started my career with Brady Days in Southwestern Shelby. And little fact about Brady, he was actually a freshman coach here at Blackford, so he's got some Bruin ties. And then I played for Coach.
Well, that ball. Sorry to interrupt you. Yep. That ball took a nice bounce down to the 21. So that's probably the best net yardage on a punt today. Ridgway did a nice job getting that ball along the sideline, and it just rolled right down there to the 21. So this is going to be the furthest field position away from their end zone for away from the Bruin end zone for the Argyles. They're going to have a ways to go here if they want to get back in the end zone. So you were saying Brady Days, he was a freshman coach. Do you have any idea when that was? That he was a freshman coach here?
Well, it was around the time when I was in high school, which had been 04, 05-ish days. Because we've talked about that. I know it was somewhere around that days. I think it was maybe his first start. He was a freshman coach here at Blackford. Yeah. And then I went back to Jay County and coached with Coach Teagle, who I had played under. Coached with him for about 4 years. Loved my time there. You know, he's a Blackford guy himself. Just had a really, really good stretch there. Then got out of it for a little bit, and then got a chance. You know, we hired a Hall of Fame coach at Jay County, and Jerry Baumholt, and had a chance to come back and coach with him. And so thankful for my time with him. Getting to coach with 2 different guys like that just really helped mold me into the coach that I am, and I'm so grateful to all 3 of those guys for kind of teaching me the ways and getting to learn under all 3 of them.
There was a nice tackle there by Kamari Taylor, I believe. He came in and got that tackle for no gain. To be able to coach under 2 guys who are future Hall of Famers. Is Coach Baumholt in the Hall of Fame yet?
He's not. I think he's well on his way. He's 6 wins away from 600. Both those guys are 2 of the best. You know, when you talk about defensive coaches, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. There's a big run by number 25 there down the sideline.
25, Camden Williams on the carry for the Argyles.
So Camden Williams with the big run there. Kamari again got over. So Kamari's getting a lot of action here. You know, we mentioned his name, and now he's getting in on all plays, offensively and defensively. So luckily he was able to run him down and keep Madison Grant from getting on down into the end zone. Here's a couple scores from around the league. Right now, Frankton and Eastbrook are tied in the 3rd quarter with 5 minutes to go at 27. Alexandria is leading Elwood 34-12. Elwood's going to be our opponent next week right here for homecoming. And the Frankton Eastbrook score is now at the end of the 3rd quarter, and that's 27-27. So next week we'll be homecoming here at Bruin Field. We'll be playing Elwood. Should be a nice night for viewing a football game, so if you're around in the area, come out next week. Coach, you gonna be here next week for the game?
Somebody's got to get these officials out here, so I will be here, and excited for that.
It's homecoming, which is always exciting. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter, so we're going to move to the 4th, switch ends of the field. They're out near midfield, so the officials aren't going to have to go too far. So Coach Baumholt and Coach Teagle, who I undoubtedly both of them will end up being in the Indiana High School Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you really can't talk, recent Indiana basketball defensive history without both of them. Coach Teagle is known as one of the best man-to-man defensive guys in the state. Coach Baumholt is known as one of the best zone guys in the state. So to be able to see both of those different styles, and they're 2 totally different styles. So I'm really thankful that I got a chance to do both of those, before I got a head coaching job.
Yeah, I was recently talking to a head coach in the area about Coach Baumholt and his 1-2-2 or 3-2 defense. He calls it Zorro. And unfortunately, guys like that who are so defensive-minded do such a great job of teaching defense, get a bad rap as not wanting their offense to play fast. People say, oh, they just play so slow, but it's really not that. Their defense does such a good job. It stifles the offense, the opposing offense, and really makes it difficult for them. It slows the game down.
Yeah, and that's, the whole shot clock thing. They say, oh, that'll never help with those guys, but it actually benefits them. They defend so well. Coach Teagle and Coach Baumholt,
there's a fumbled snap, and quarterback falls on it. Backup quarterback for Madison Grant now, number 8, Hunter Rutledge. He just dropped on that one. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good, but you're right. I mean, they get a bad rap because they defend for 35, 40 seconds, and they limit the possessions in the game, and there's just fewer possessions to score. It's not necessarily that they're playing slow, but you're right. They do get a bad rap for that.
So what should we expect out of the Bruins? Are you going to be able to push the ball? You've got, I would think, a pretty athletic team coming in this year.
Yeah, we want to play fast. I mean, I think anybody that tells you they don't want to play fast is lying to you. I mean, we want to play fast. We're going to try to speed people up because we do, think that a lot of times when we take the court, we're going to be the most athletic team. So we're going to try to pressure some people and put them in positions that speed them up. We want to get to offense as quick as we can. And so defensively, we're going to defend really well, but we're going to try to take some things away and try to get out and transition quickly. So you are correct there.
And you take over a team that really did a nice job last year, double digits in wins, really probably overachieved if anything, and taking that over this year, you're in a good position, some good young talent. You graduated some guys who can play well, but you got quite a bit coming back. So I know I'm excited to come out and watch what happens with the Bruins. I'm sure a lot of people in the community are as well. I think that maybe the third play, so they fumbled the snap on first down. Second down, he got it to the running back, but I'm not sure the running back didn't drop it. And then on that one, they dropped the ball and lose a few yards. So that's going to be fourth down, and Madison Grant's going to have to bring out the punt team for the first time tonight, I believe.
Yeah, just to go off what you said there, though, I don't think there's many head coaches that get the opportunity that I have in the first year to have the talent and possibly the success that we can have. So you're right. I mean, there's a lot of people coming back that were key contributors to that team, and there was a lot of times where I watched them last year, playing against them, that I thought, man, they're really skilled. They've got some talent. They're going to figure this thing out. They're going to be really good. So I'm really blessed to be in the position that I'm in, but I'm really excited for our kids to put this thing together and try to have a little success.
Yeah, I've been around these kids a little bit, and we've had some conversations. You and I talked a little bit during the summer. It looks like there's another penalty on Madison Grant, so they're going to have to move back another 5 yards. They do have the wind at their back here for this punt. But one of the nice things about this group is it seems like, and I think from talking to you, it seems like the attitudes have been really good and they've been really coachable, and that's another thing. You've got some talent and they're coachable. That's that's what you're looking for. Oh, that might be a penalty. Nope, no flag.
Yeah, we're going to really stress mental toughness because I think you're a reflection, of the way we're coached and different things. And we want to be the toughest team on the floor, both physically and mentally. And you're right, we've had great attitudes this summer and really haven't had much to worry about in that regards.
Here's another score update. Going into the fourth quarter, Eastbrook has taken a 34-27 lead over Frankton. So with 8 minutes left to go in that quarter, or in that game, Eastbrook's drawn out to a lead.
Coach Adamson over there at Eastbrook, man, he can flat out coach. So
he can.
That's not surprising.
That's why it's Adamson Field over there.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
I think that has something to do with it there.
I don't know if he's in the Football Hall of Fame yet, but he
well
will
on
be
his
if
way.
he's not.
If not, yeah, they've got a spot waiting for him. If not, so.
I think there was some positive yardage there. I'm not sure who had that carry, but it was a carry gain of about 3 yards. So how many of your basketball players? You've got a couple. I know Kamari's out there on the football field. Are there a couple other guys out there?
Yeah, we've started some workouts right now, and we've got Jacob Dillon and Mason McFeeler are both playing tennis. We've got Jacob Berry that's playing soccer. Kamari's playing football, and then we've got some more younger guys that haven't shown up yet, because they're in football, which we want them to be in different sports, and we want multi-sport athletes. I think that builds character and builds them as a player.
There's Kamari again around the end. That's going to be another first down and more. It's a nice run for Kamari. Gets knocked out of bounds around the 28. Started there about the 10, so I think that was an 18-yard carry for Kamari. You should come up and talk about him more often. Every time you mention his name,
he takes off.
He gets a big play. That's one thing I always enjoyed when I was a coach, being able to see the players in the offseason playing other sports, get out there where you don't have to worry about what they're doing, but you can just watch them, be around them a little bit, and enjoy seeing them compete.
Yeah, and I think you get different personalities and different things too. So we're going to encourage kids to play other sports. I think it's huge for development. There's so many things they can learn, and football is such a physical game. You know, it's tough, it creates toughness. Then even things like tennis, you know, you've got hand-eye coordination, different things. I think being involved, you know, we can do off-season workouts, but it's 2 days a week. You know, when you're in a fall sport, you're getting 5-6 days a week where you're working on things. I just think it's really beneficial for kids to play multiple.
We've got a couple kids even playing football and soccer. When we talk about multi-sport athletes, Juan Velasquez was out there on that possession. Juan and Alex Sorg and Grant Ridgway, all three are playing soccer and football.
That's
so
impressive.
2 sports in the same season. That takes a lot of commitment from them and from their parents.
Yeah, that's some serious dedication. No doubt about it.
So after a penalty on first down, there's a loss of a yard or 2. It's going to bring up 2nd and long. Bruins have several backups in there here. So I know we mentioned in the first half a few of the guys, there were a few players, a few starters who didn't get much time in that second quarter. So hopefully those guys are going to be all right and going to be able to get back on the field next week, next Friday for homecoming against Elwood. That'll be a big game. Last year, the Bruins played Elwood at Indiana Wesleyan. You probably may not have been aware of that, but it was over on the IWU campus. Beautiful day over there, and the Bruins just had some unfortunate turnovers, penalties, and let one slip away that really had a good chance to win. So if you look on screen there's the remaining schedule for the Bruins tonight. Madison Grant, next week Elwood, homecoming. Then they'll be on the road for 4 out of their 5 remaining games with Eastbrook, Mississauga, Franklin, and Alexandria. So if you want to come out to a game, you got 2 more chances. You got the Elwood game next week, which is homecoming, and then you'll have senior night against Oak Hill on October 4th. So I'd come out next week. It's going to be beautiful weather probably. September 13th, middle of September, that should be prime football weather.
That's right.
If you wait till October, it might start getting a little chilly. Although we've got some chilly weather tonight, a little earlier than usual.
I didn't come prepared. I got my shorts on.
Yeah, you got your shorts on. Looks like the wind has totally messed up your hair.
I know it.
That's why I wore a hat, because with my hair, it's easy to get messed up. The Bruins lose a little more yardage on that play. Again, Hunter Kale's been in at quarterback here the last several possessions, last couple of possessions.
On the carry for the Blackford.
I'll bring up 3rd and long here. Might be a good time to throw the ball, though the wind is a little lighter than it was a while ago, but still tough to throw into, especially if you're trying to throw out onto the left side, because wind's coming a little bit left to right to the quarterback. He's going to throw, or he wanted to. He went down. Thought for a second he might have lost the ball, but that'll be a sack inside right about the 10-yard line. Guess I'll bring that as forward progress was around 12. This will be another chance for Grant Ridgway to show off his punting foot. Unfortunately, he's back to kicking into the wind. So you'll play, obviously you've been coaching at Jay County for a few years. You're going to play, that game will be at Jay County this year?
It'll be at home this year.
It'll be at Blackford.
Yes.
Yep. Speaking of playing at home, you're going to get a host the sectional. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Blackford's such a great place to host. I mean, they've hosted so many sectionals and regionals over the years. Great facility, great host site, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'm so excited to host. I think that's such a great opportunity for us.
And you're right, it is a great facility, and sometimes that comes down to where you're positioned with the other teams in the conference. Everyone wants a kind of a central location as opposed to the team that's furthest north or furthest south. That was a pretty good punt considering the wind. That one's going to settle at about the 35.
Yeah, and you're right. I'm coming from a program that you know, I've never been a part of, you know, a program that hosted a sectional. You know, we never got to host one over there. And so, you know, we always came to Blackford for many years when everybody was in 3A. So, you know, like I said, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be really cool.
You were a part of a program that had some success here in the sectional. I know at one time I was coaching at Mississinawa. You were at Jay County, and we were both in the Blackford sectional. And I think 4 years in a row, Jay County defeated Mississinawa here at Blackford.
There was a time there when I was in high school that I think we played on this floor 6 times in 1 year. We had 3 sectional games, 2 regional games, and a regular season game. Which, you know, I've got great memories on this floor, you know, both at Jay County and, you know, at Blackford, and so
hopefully those great memories now will be on the Blackford
they'll
side.
They'll be on the Blackford sideline, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Another tackle by Kamari Taylor.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, when we bring up facilities, like, you'll be hard-pressed to find a better gym and a better quality of facilities in there that we've got. I love these facilities. I love our gym. I'm not sure what it seats. It's got to be close to 3,500-ish, I would think. Just great. Wonderful.
And we've also got a new girls basketball coach. So you guys been able to talk basketball? And
I'll tell you, if you have a girl that's going to go through Coach Murphy's program, you should be really, really excited about what's going on. He's a guy that's got a plan, and he's got a plan in place, and he is going to stick to what he does, and I'm really, really excited. We've been able to work together. We're going to do some youth stuff together, especially with the lower grade levels, and we've been able to work together really well. And I've gotten to know him, and he's a really top-notch coach. We've got a good hire in Coach Murphy in the girls basketball program.
That was a big run there by Madison Graham, but a nice tackle by C.J. Viebert down on the far sideline. Yeah, Coach Murphy, he seems like a very, both of you, very just energetic, positive guys. He's teaching in the building, right?
Yeah, he's teaching PE, and you're right. I mean, the game has changed a little bit. I think some positivity and some upbeatness is really awesome, and he brings that. I'm going to bring that. We're really excited about both of our programs.
Looks like a penalty there. Oh, sorry, they're going to let that time run off. There are only 22 seconds left. Had a running clock there at the end, so the clock's going to run out. It's been a great pleasure having you in here, Coach Daniels.
Hey,
maybe we'll have to get together again later.
With greatness like you, Coach Clam, this has been awesome, and I appreciate this. And anytime, I'd love to join you. So thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. So the final score tonight, Bruin Field, the Argyles are going to pick up the win. Their 3rd win of the year, go to 3-0. The Bruins are going to be at 1-2 on the season. The chance next week at homecoming, playing Elwood, to hopefully get back to 500 at 2-2.
Really impressed with all of you that stuck around with us. The counter does say there are a few of you still watching, so definitely not the most entertaining game, but glad you could stick around. And maybe you got a relative or someone out there that you're interested, you were able to watch it. We did talk to some of the folks in the stands, and Brian Ludwig assures us that his mother is watching. So we want to say hi and wish her a speedy recovery.
I think his nephew, Nick Otwanowski, may be watching from out of state. So we may have a one or two out of state. Nick Otwanowski's a former Bruin. Hopefully he's watching and keeping up with how his cousin Daniel is doing. I think I called Daniel Ludwig Nick earlier because I was thinking about Nick Otwanowski. The Bruins, as they do after every game, singing the fight song. Hopefully the guys who are out this week are just dinged up a little bit and will be back and healthy next week. They've got a week to get ready. Again, Elwood comes in, the Elwood Panthers. I believe that if Elwood didn't win tonight, I know they put up some points, they'll come in at 1-2. They had a game earlier in the season against Southern Wells, who really struggles, and Elwood won that game. So it could be a matchup of two 1-2 schools here at Blackford on homecoming night for the Bruins. So we should have good energy playing at home, and hopefully that'll be a win, and we'll get back to 2-2 next week.
So that'll do it for us here tonight from Blackford High School, where Blackford falls to the Madison Grant Argyles 42-0 on a chilly, windy night. On behalf of Keith, our cameraman, Jared on stats, Scott, and myself, wish you a pleasant good evening, and we'll see you next week.